So then with the 2025 Winmau World Darts Masters preliminary qualifier round complete, we now have our full tournament bracket for the Winmau World Darts Masters in Milton Keynes. I'm going to go through every single game and give my prediction for the first round. Of course, first rounds are best of 5 sets, first to 3 sets in the old World Masters format. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. So the first game then sees the number 1 seed and the number 1 in the world, Luke Humphries, take on Joe Cullen. Now, Joe Cullen's not been in good form whatsoever as of recent. Not really lighting up the world. Obviously got beat by Gezi Price in the World Championships. And I do think that Humphries wins this one. I'm going to go 3-1 in favour of Cool Hand Luke Humphries. I think he's going to be up for this. He likes set format. I think that suits him down to the ground. The second game then sees Josh Rock take on Jermaine Wattimena. Now, Jermaine Wattimena beat Nick Kenny by 2-1 in the qualifier to book himself a place into the World Masters, where he takes on Josh Rock. I do think Josh is going to have, obviously, the better ability in this one, and I do think Josh Rock wins. But Jermaine Wattimena has had a really good back end of the year and has started quite well at the start of the year in this qualifier. I'm going to go with 3-1 again to Josh Rock. The next game then is Damon Heta taking on Ross Smith. Damon Heta, the number 8 seed for this tournament, against Ross Smith. I think both of these players are really at sort of the same part in their career. I think obviously Ross Smith has won a major tournament. Damon Heta hasn't done so just yet, but I think he's on the cusp of winning a major tournament. I think this is going to go all the way, and I'm going to go Ross Smith to edge this one. I'm going to go Damon Heta 2, Ross Smith 3. I think that Damon Heta still has that sort of worry of getting over the line. And then the final game of this section sees the number 9 seed Gezi Price taking on the German Florian Hempel, who beat Gabriel Clemens, a former, he is a former semi-finalist of a major. Obviously got to that semi-final of the World Championship. Not the best of 2024, but I think Gezi Price, even if it was Gabriel Clemens, I think that Gezi Price would have the better of Gabriel Clemens. But I think he's going to beat Florian Hempel by 3-0. The second section of the draw then starts off with the number 4 seed Rob Cross as he takes on William O'Connor in round 1. William O'Connor obviously knocking out Richard Veenstra in the final qualifying match to get to this tournament. And again, Rob Cross won in the Netherlands. Obviously got beat by Paulo Nebreda in Bahrain. I do think Rob Cross is in a decent-ish space, and I think he beats Willie O'Connor. I'm going to go with 3-1 to Voltage Rob Cross. Could be an interesting game, that. The next game then sees Danny Noppert take on Michael Smith. Now, Michael Smith has fell down the rankings quite so drastically, and I do think that Danny Noppert will have the edge in it, basically. Obviously, Danny Noppert beat Michael Smith in the UK Open final when Danny Noppert won his maiden PDC title. I think Danny Noppert wins. I'm going to go for another 3-1. The next game then sees Stephen Bunting take on Willie Borland, who obviously knocked out Mickey Mansell. Now, obviously, Stephen Bunting won in Bahrain, got to the final in the Netherlands. He's playing at some really good darts, the best darts he's probably ever played in his career. I think that Stephen Bunting wins this one. I'm going to go 3-1. Next game then is Peter Wright taking on Kevin Duets, the final game of Section 2. In fact, Kevin Duets beat Dylan Slevin 2-0 in his game to qualify for this. And Duets played well in the World Championships last year, or the World Championship just gone, played well against Nathan Aspinall, beat him in the Netherlands. So I do think that Kevin Duets is in decent form. However, I do think Peter Wright also can turn up in these type of events. I'm going to go for Peter Wright to win this one. I'm going to go 3-2. Peter Wright does like set format. I'm going to go for 3-1 to Peter Wright. The second half of the draw then sees the world number 2 and world champion Luke Littler take on Andy Batons, who beat Darius Labanauskas 2-0 to qualify for this game. Again, Littler didn't really impress in Bahrain, obviously beat by Gezi Price. Got to the semi-final in the Netherlands, losing to Stephen Bunting. Andy Baton's could cause an upset, but I think Luke Littler wins this one by 3-1. And Andy Baton's gets a set, but I don't think he's going to really trouble the Luke Littler throw, if I'm honest. The next game then sees James Wade take on Mike De Decker. Now, Mike De Decker could probably feel a bit annoyed that he didn't make the Premier League. He obviously won the Grand Prix, played some really good stuff in that World Grand Prix, despite it being obviously double in, double out. Played extraordinarily well in that tournament and missed out on a place in the Premier League. James Wade, again, just loitering around that top 16 area, but hasn't really threatened to go up the rankings as we know James Wade previously has. I'm going to go Mike De Decker to win 3-1. The next game then is Johnny Clayton taking on Martin Schindler, the penultimate game in this section. And again, Martin Schindler tipped to soon be the next major winner, and probably will, win a major or some more floor and European titles soon. Johnny Clayton, again, still in that top 10, still playing some really nice stuff on the floor and off the floor, and, a really consistent player. Obviously not in the Premier League, not on the World Series circuit, so it allows him to focus on the majors and the floor tournaments. I think Johnny's going to win this one. I'm going to go 3-2. And then the final game of this third section sees Chris Dobie take on Ryan Searle. Now, Dobie, obviously semi-finalist of the World Championships. Not just that, I think, he's climbing the rankings now. Number 10 seed for this tournament. Obviously, he's in the Premier League this year. He's going to be on all the World Series. A lot more attention to Hollywood, which I think he deserves because he is a top quality dart player. And I think he beats Ryan Searle by 3-1. Searle might like this format due to it being set format, but I think Dobie wins 3-1. And then the final section, the final quarter of the draw, starts off with the World Championship runner-up Michael Van Gerwen taking on Bradley Brooks. Now, Bradley Brooks beat Krzysztof Ratajski to get to this game against Michael Van Gerwen. Not many people beat Krzysztof Ratajski as comfortably as Bradley Brooks did in that game, and I think Krzysztof Ratajski would have loved to have, get in this tournament to get some ranking money. And again, I think Michael wins this pretty comfortably. I think Bradley gives him a game. I am going to go 3-1, but I think Michael wants a big year this year. Lost in the World Final last year. He's probably going to aim to take that title back because he's not won it since 2017, I believe. So, I think Michael Van Gerwen, is going to want to, start this year well. I'm going to go 3-0. And then the next game, potentially setting up a mouth-watering tie in the second round at the World Masters, is Gary Anderson taking on Dimitri Van den Berg. Now, Gary Anderson dispatched the World Championship early by losing to Jeffrey de Graaf. A lot of people predicted Gary Anderson to actually win the world title. He lost to de Graaf, and since then, obviously, it's probably hurting a lot because he should have beat Jeffrey de Graaf in that game, but I think he beats Dimitri Van den Berg by 3-1. And then the penultimate game sees Dave Chisnall take on Cameron Menzies. Cameron Menzies obviously beat Jan van Veen in the last qualifier spot to book his place here, and that's a massive result, beating Jan van Veen. And I do think that Cameron Menzies continues that into round one. Chizzy's been awful on TV. Let's just put it out there. He's been absolutely horrendous on TV events. I think Cammy Menzies wins this one by 3-1. And then the final game is Nathan Aspinall taking on Andrew Gilding. Aspinall, again, miles off it in the Netherlands, in Den Bosch, against Kevin Dutz. Wasn't really going in Bahrain. And obviously the World Championship had a really good run to the quarterfinals, losing to Luke Littler. I think Andrew Gilding wins by 3-1. So, guys, those are my round one predictions for the 2025 Winmau World Darts Masters. Feel free to drop your predictions down below. And, I will be here reviewing each day or each session or each day of the 2025 Winmau World Darts Masters. Get your predictions in down below. Let me know your thoughts on the draw. And hopefully the tournament lives up to expectation. Thank you for watching. Make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in a video soon. Thanks for watching.